Hello there, my name is Kuma, and Arknights is a game with an expansive lore. We have a lot of events, a lot of playable characters, and of course, a lot of NPCs that we all want to become playable. So that's why I asked you, what is the one NPC you want as an operator and why? Let's see what you said. First, I just want to point out that between me asking this question and recording this video, Crown Slayer was announced on CN, and she was a NPC a few of you asked for. So congratulations, you got what you wanted in no time. Let's get to the first NPC who is not yet playable. Manfred. Yes, while there are a few more NPCs I do want as an operator, there is a lot of things going for Manfred that just makes me want to put my bias aside. Because stay with me here. A 6-star Arts Protector. Imagine how cool that would be. It also helps that some of the operators already hint at him like Paprika's voice line. We have already had suspicious operators previously from an enemy faction, W. A redemption arc is not out of the realm of possibility. Okay, this is a good one to start things off because we just had Babel, right? And in that event, we see that Manfred was trained together with Ascalon while they were growing up, which is the operator that we got from Babel. They were trained by the Sarkas twins, Teresis and Teresa. They just ended up having a disagreement on their moral choices and ended up going opposite ways in life. Manfred followed Teresis into the war, and Ascalon went with Teresa to Babel. So we could for sure have something arranged to give us a playable Manfred. It's not even a faraway dream. Hypergriff will just have to move a few words around and this could be a reality. You said he would fit well as a 6-star Arts Protector, right? I don't see why not. He is a big man, he has a lot of arts damage, it fits very well in him from what I can see. I don't particularly have any feelings for Manfred. Seeing him in Babel was cool and all, I never expected to be the case. And having this backstory with Ascalon I mean, but I would not mind seeing Manfred as an operator. Let's see the next NPC. Shield Guards from Chapter 8. I love their design, how they literally are a wall to protect what they believe in, and the taunt mechanic that they have just thinking about the Juggernaut defensive taunt focused, makes me drool. Dude, I love the Shield Guards. Whenever you get them in IS4, they help you a lot. They are half a win if you get them on Ending 4 as well, at least the way I learned to beat Ending 4. They are such tanky boys as enemies as well, they have crazy stats to this day, they are some of the higher bars an operator could clear in the game as far as elites are concerned. But as far as their NPC versions, we really don't see them all that much. But the little bit we do see in Chapter 7, specifically, is such a good time. I don't know if you remember, but there is one scene after the battle where the Shield Guards learn to respect Rosmontes as the elite operator she is, and they all pick her up in their arms and throw her in the air. It's such a precious moment, such a cool memory that I have from the lore. It's so nice to remember it. And yes, they are such strong-minded individuals, they know what they have chosen as their path and they wanted to see it to the end. I would love to see a Shield Guard as a playable operator. And since they don't have all that much development, you could create a story for one of them and give them whatever kit you want. It's a very cool choice. Next one. Donma, who we already know is an operator in universe with the codename Lotus. I think she has a potential as a sort of Abjurer or Hexer hybrid. Yes, I agree, give me Donma. She was probably the first NPC I saw who I wanted as an operator. She doesn't really have that much of her personality fleshed out. We know she is a medic, and she likes to help Mountain while he is in prison. The whole story of Mansfield Break is kinda all over the place, but Donma just seems like the most normal person in that place. She's simply a caretaker taking care of the prisoners. And as roads take her in, she becomes an operator, although this part doesn't appear on the event if I remember it right. We know this from some side readings somewhere, I don't remember where we know this, but we know she becomes Lotus, she becomes an operator. but she would be someone I would raise on the spot if she was released, just because I like Donma so much. Although, I think she would just be a medic. You said you expect her to be an abjurer or hexer of sorts. I'm up for surprises, but realistically, she fits as a medic because that's what she was. Next NPC. Closure feels like one we could get. She is well known and long since has been a member of Playable Rhodes Island, and she has played a part in the Victoria arc of the main story. Archetype-wise, she could be placed in several of the already existing ones. Artificer is a easy one she can naturally fit into. Another one that could work functionally will be Alchemist with her deploying her drones to assist in battle. Or maybe go to the meme route and make her a merchant since she is always eager for us to spend our hard-earned cash in the shop. Closure is a character that has been with us since the very beginning, right? Lots of players have looked at the shop home screen and wondered, how can I have this cute girl? And unfortunately for everyone, she has refused to sell herself to anyone up to this day for reasons yet unknown. It's kinda crazy to think about it, because we have so much screen time for Closure. She shows up in the records of a lot of operators dealing with paperwork or fixing something that someone broke up. She is involved with the creation of most of the robots that we have in Rhodes, right? Because she is the head of the mechanics department of Rhodes Island, I think at least. I don't actually know, I don't remember the wording they use exactly, but she is a very important member of the land ship. Just like Kaltsit or Warfarin even, like, she is on their same level, she is one of these very old characters that is in there since Babel. She has even appeared before, telling the tales of how she got recruited into Babel, and talking about the hacker war she had with a rival back in the day. She helps Rhodes when they first enter Londinium, she's always there. And not only that, Closure is such a beloved character. There's always a new meme talking about how Closure wants to rip you off. We even had a mini-series for her that you can find in the Arknights Joestar YouTube channel, the Closure no Himitsu files. And all of this just makes you wonder, how are we getting W Outer but not Closure? Please Hypergriff, I want to make a trade with you. Anyways, for her class, I agree. We have a lot of choices that would fit well with Closure. For the longest time we believed Merchant would be it. I even memed that Closure would have an attack that just eats your LMD for real from your account. But now so much time has passed that we got Artificers and Alchemists, and she would 100% fit in either of these classes as well, just like you said. I don't know, man, but it's crazy to me that Closure, of all people, has not been made into a playable operator yet. Hypergriff sometimes looks like rookies who don't know how to make money, even if they continue to make a lot of it. Next NPC. Jesselton. I really like his Notes Me Senpai toxic behavior. Also, want him as an operator Suicide Squad style, earning a pardon by doing missions with Rhodes Island, with prison clothes under the Rhodes Island jacket with arts dampener to regulate his arts usage. Not gonna lie to you, that sounds like a great idea. It's not like being related to Rhodes Island matters for being a playable operator anymore. Or being good or bad, I don't think it has ever mattered for the playable characters. But that would be a cool scenario for Jesselbad. The hard part would be to take him out of prison, because as we saw in one of the mini events, Jesselton's life has been broadcasted as reality TV, and the poor man thinks he has the favors of his last employer who will for sure come to save him from jail. You could even feel bad for the man. It's harsh. Jesselton certainly has this very expressive personality. He has this almost narcissistic way of going about his business. And the man is strong. In Mansfield Break, the only one who could stop him was Saria. And although Saria does not go around showing off her powers, we know that she is extremely skilled with her arts and in melee combat. Jesselton as an operator would probably continue to be a Joe character in some way, or at least that's what I want to believe. He would be a cool operator, Maybe his voice lines would be so over the top that you wouldn't be able to help yourself and give him a giggle every time he speaks. Although, I think the Jesselton you want is a much more serious character, so I'm sorry for giving him a 180 and dragging him around, but I just can't help. Jesselbad is cool, but he's Jesselbad at the end of the day. Next NPC. Allerdale. They brought her back from the dead for a reason, and it wasn't just to give Vina reassurance that her childhood friend didn't die horribly. Give that Steam Knight, Hypergriff. Okay, let me be honest with you, I jumped a few of the chapters, like chapter 10 to 13, I didn't really read it that well, so I don't really remember who is Allerdale, so give me a second. Okay, I got a little bit of context, but I don't think it helped that much. Alearde is Siege's friend, and she can wear the armor of a Steam Knight, but she has disappeared after chapter 11. And I know a little bit of how the Siege event went on CN. I didn't hear anything about Alearde, so she is clearly still gone. Unless I'm wrong, which could be the case. But it's a weird way to just get rid of Siege's childhood friend, right? What with Arknights and all of their mystery around characters who they want gone, but they don't want to kill. They are way too scared sometimes. Well, obviously I can't say much about how cool would it be to have Alearde or not, since my knowledge about her started 5 minutes ago. Hey, even a crazy guy like me can't remember every NPC in the game, alright? But well, if she is the Steam Knight, I can just imagine how funny it would be to have a mini Steam Knight deployed on our side. Because his sprite is so big when we fight him in chapter 11 that he would need to be resized to fit as an operator. Just picture the image in your head, a chibi Steam Knight. That's the image that will stay with us today. Next one. Toland from the Casimir saga. As far as I can tell, the only true difficulty there could be lore-wise that stops him from joining hands with Rhodes Island in an official capacity is his work as a mercenary. But Rhodes Island has gotten around such things before. In any case, he's intelligent, shrewd, a genuine important part of the Casimir's story where Muinar's search for an eventual resolution concerning his elder brother and sister-in-law are concerned, and Toland is directly referenced in both in-game furniture flavor text and Muinar's 24 OP skin lines. Furthermore, in many of the arts done for Muinar, particularly the ones of him getting invitational letters to join his family at Rhodes Island, Toland is with him. Personally, I just feel like Toland has way more reason to be a part-time Rhodes Islander, even if it's just to keep in proper contact with his friend and his friend's loved ones. Toland is a very important character in Muinar's past, that's for sure. We really don't know everything that happened between them, but we know that they are very close friends and that they went through a lot together. That's why when Muinar realizes that he is throwing away his time trying to create a protect household for Blemishine, he goes away with no one else but Toland. Again, him not having direct connections to Rhodes Island doesn't matter anymore. We have operators who have nothing to do with anything, and Toland fits way better than many of those. And after all, Rhodes gives away missions to anyone who wants to work under their name. And being a mercenary, he fits well into this business model that Rhodes Island has. He would only need to follow Rhodes' rules, and that's about it. I don't know if we'll see more of Muinar's story, but it is something that I want to see. I want to see Muinar remembering his past as someone who fights for what he believes, and I want to see Toland with him, being this incredible friend that they apparently are to each other, and I want to see them conquering something, realizing their ideals one more time. Toland already has a very cool design that Hypergriff wouldn't even need to adapt to turn him into a playable character. Different from other operators like Irene, for example, who got a complete revamp once they realized they wanted her as playable. So it wouldn't even be a big step to take, to bring Toland to the land ship. He is not a character I think about all that much, but I agree with you. It would be great to see Toland released as a playable operator. Next NPC. Logos Mom, Lakeramalin. Why? 2 reasons. 1. Hags. and she kept her youthful looks just to pamper on little Euphemio, aka lore-wise she definitely follow him. And number 2, I would, that's all. Laceramaline is another character we got to see in Playable. She is portrayed as a very nice woman who cares about the people of Casdell, especially those who can't fend for themselves. She is Logos' mom, yes, and she sees him as something very special because Logos is special. Laceramaline and Logos are banshees, and banshees are supposed to be all female. It's not supposed to be possible for a male banshee to be born like Logos was. Now that Logos is with us, she wants to keep contact with him, because she has stuff to do as a banshee and can't be around Euphemio, and Euphemio is Logos' name, in case you didn't realize, but because she wants to keep in contact with him, Closure and the others built Fonor, who we are getting in chapter 14, the new robot. So Fonor is a robot, but she is also a banshee, and she speaks with Laceramaline's voice. So she sends messages between the banshees and Logos to the point where the CN community started calling Fonor Logos' cell phone to speak with his mom. And well, you can see that I like Laceramaline. I know you had more bonkable reasons to bring her up than not, but it is a character worth talking about, I'd say. I'm not aware of the situation the banshees are in right now, and why her duties are more important than the song she loves so much, but I guess Mon has got work to do. I don't see Hypergriff bringing her to us as a playable operator, but who knows? We gotta have dreams before they can become reality, right? And also, considering how much Necrosis is getting support, maybe I could see a totally random drop out of nowhere, with Laceramaline bringing even more crazy stuff into the Necrosis stable. Next NPC. Mandragora. Yeah, heaps of copium, but I'm still boggled by the fact that she died so suddenly and mysteriously, which is kinda confirmed since we heard nothing about her ever since, not even in Siege Outer event as far as I know. That's my utmost copium take. Well, if that is copium or not, I can't say. But there are some things I can say about Mandragora. She is a NPC that I always am hearing about. People love this cat, and for reasons I cannot fathom or understand. She is one of the most evil characters in the whole story of Arknights. She just doesn't have all the power it takes to make her wishes true. I am not partial to evil characters in this game because a lot of these characters, they are actually super evil in a not fun way. But then again, if she became a playable operator, she wouldn't be the first, or the second, or the third evil op. We have some of those actually evil characters in there, and I would treat Mandragora the same way I treat all the others. I would ignore she exists as hard as I can. Now, when it comes to her death, just as we talked before in this video, Arknights tends to refuse on killing important characters. It's extremely rare to see meaningful deaths being used in the storytelling. We certainly get a lot of deaths, a lot of nameless characters die all the time, but important characters? It is underdone. The way the scenario of Terra is built, it's certainly underdone. Nothing feels serious anymore like they try to portray. So when you say that Mandragora's death is kinda confirmed, yeah, that kinda just means it's not confirmed. She could be alive. We have crazy people out there vouching for how her death was not confirmed and she needs to get a continuation to her story. Which is honestly understandable because a similar situation to hers appeared multiple times in the game before. So personally, I don't want to see Mandragora ever again. But hey, have your hopes up. Arknights hates ending important characters. So if you think she's important, she's probably alive. Next one. Lemoine. Lateran with the guns and everything to do with the Sancta has always intrigued me, and it's been shown that she's making a pretty good recovery so far. Why not have a badass 6-star Umbriel come along? And even if she's not fully recovered, Nightingale is in a wheelchair almost all the time, so just wheel Lemoine into a high tile and let her pull the wheelchair on top of the signpost BS. Indeed. How could one forget about the scene where Lemoine simply climbs a sign while riding her wheelchair and somehow keeps her balance to shoot? It's magic. That's the only possible answer. It's just magic. Lemoine is another NPC that has been in the game for a very long time. Although, at the beginning, we didn't really know anything about her. But the connections with Mostima, Exia, and the whole thing, that is what kept a lot of fans waiting for Lemoine. But now we have seen some screen time given to her. We've seen how crazy skilled she is. I'd say she's a wizard doing magic tricks like that. But also, we've seen how terrible of a friend she is to Fiammetta. And that is something I can't take, like at all. The whole situation with Andoen and the other girls understanding each other, but Fiammetta being left completely out of the loop just because she is a burb, she's not a sancta, trying to keep their friendship alive on top of that, while they can't even try to explain why they are okay with the whole situation. It's like, please use words for Fiammetta's sake, dang it. It's such a mess, man. I have a hard time accepting that Mostima is here. If I had Lemoine as well, the blood vessels in my head would explode just like Fiammetta's. That being said, Lemoine fits perfectly in the Arknights style of character. I mean, she is a very old NPC, so that kinda makes sense. But she is absurdly strong, she takes things easy, and has a lot of trouble going on in the background. And we already have Mostima as playable. It's even a bit weird that Lemoine has not been released yet. And yeah, she would fit very easily in multiple sniper classes. So why not, right? Besides making Fiammetta and myself even more frustrated, I don't think there are any downsides. Who knows? This one might happen the next time we go to Laterano. Next NPC. Monch, please, she's so cute and deserves to be playable, please! Make it sting for Gnosis that she might show up on Rhodes Island, but we'll never greet him anymore. Monch! Yeah, Gnosis is a jerk, right? Treating your girl Monch like that. Monch is another NPC that I myself would love to see become playable. She could fit in many classes. She could be a tactician vanguard, she could be one of many types of snipers. Who knows, she could be a lot of stuff. Monch is a girl who just wants to do her best and be needed by someone. Why would you not want someone like that working with you, right? With all the development in Yerag's story, especially the last scene on the Herald event, that has shown that Hypergriff wants to keep the boat afloat on Yerag. They wanted to keep this story going forward. So I totally see us going back to Yerag at some point, to see the continuation to this story. And since Monch is now working with the Browntails, I think she is a prime character ready to become playable. Well, mostly because I don't know who else in Yerag they would bring into the landship. Because if I'm letting my bias aside, Monch doesn't really have that big of a personality. She's certainly there, and it would not be hard to remember that she exists, but she isn't your usual main character that you see in the Arknights story. She really feels more like a side character that for some reason they decided to give a great design to her. I really like Monch. I think I forgot to say that, but I'm sure you have realized. And I am waiting for her. Monch isn't my first choice, but it is at the top of my list, somewhere. And that was it for today. Like the video if you enjoyed our talk, and tell me in the comments, do you think any of my thoughts on any of the characters today was wrong? Who do you want to see as a playable character? Let us know! Either way, I hope everyone has a very nice day. Peace out!